Do you want to know how to spot a narcissistic business partner? I know, believe me, because I've been there. I had to do it. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what they look like so that you can go running in the opposite direction when you see them coming. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I have been recognized as one of the top 1% of attorneys in the country. And I have written a couple of best-selling books, Negotiate Like You Met Her and Breaking Free, a step-by-step divorce guide. And I've helped millions of people, just like you, who are dealing with narcissists, either in a business setting or in a divorce setting or whatever setting. And I help you negotiate with them, whether it's a formal negotiation at a mediation or there's a case or not. If you're having to negotiate or deal with or manage a narcissist, then you are in the right place. Make sure that you hit subscribe and you hit that notification bell. Okay, so I also had to deal with a narcissistic business partner. Maybe you are thinking of taking on a new partner. Maybe you're in a partnership with someone, or maybe you are talking to somebody about potentially partnering with them, and you want to know, is this person a narcissist? So I'm going to tell you a little story that somebody just recently told me that I thought it summed it up so incredibly that I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, this is an actual story. Like, this is a thing. So apparently it's a story from like 100 years ago or something. And it's a story of, it's called The Camel Under the Tent, or The Camel Nose Under the Tent. And it's a story about a camel who was with his owner, who was out in the Sahara Desert or wherever they were. And they stopped for the night and they've got the tent up, and the camel, they're getting ready for, to go to sleep for the night. And the guy's inside. And the next thing you know, the camel sticks his little nose under the side of the tent and says, "Please, sir, it's very cold out here. Can't I just have my nose under the tent?" And the next thing you know, the guy goes, "All right, fine, just your nose, but nothing else." Next thing you know, the camel puts his whole head under. "Please, sir, can't I just have my head under here? It's like so much warmer in here. It's so nice. And it'll just be my head and everything else will stay outside. Can't I just have my head in?" And the guy goes, "All right, I guess so." And the story just continues on. And by the time the guy wakes up in the morning, the camel is basically like in the bed and the guy is on the floor. Okay, and it's because the camel has basically taken over the entire thing and mistreating him on top of it. Okay, and that's kind of how it goes when you're dealing with a narcissistic business partner. I've coached a lot of people in the past who've had narcissistic business partners, and what's really interesting to me is that they all are kind of the same. It starts off where they're like incredible. They just seem so perfect for you in every way. So one of the people that I coached, she had a business, and her specialty was training people. And her business partner specialty, allegedly, was going to be bringing in salespeople and developing a sales team. And so they thought that they were like perfectly matched. Well, as it turns out, that once they became partners, she ended up doing all the work. She was bringing in the salespeople, she was training people, she was doing everything. And her partner was like saying that she was going to do things, might do a little bare minimum, taking credit for everything. All the team thought that she was doing all the work. I mean, and it was a very similar situation with a situation that I had to deal with. And I've heard this from story after story after story. It's very, very similar. They start off love bombing you, but not in a love bomb way, like a romantic way. It's like, "Hey, listen, you've got a skill set that I don't have." Or look at how perfectly aligned we are. Or look, we should be best friends. Look how many similarities we have. Our backgrounds are so similar. We have so much going for us. We should totally work together. Whatever it is, like they just bring you in. Oh my gosh. And at the beginning, they work really, really hard. They're doing all the work because they're love bombing you. So every day you're getting emails, they're working on this, they're creating a plan. They've got the great people lined up. They've got business space, if that's what you're looking for. They've got whatever it is, they're doing it. They're on it. And you're thinking, wow, this is amazing. Where have you been all of my life? Like, I can't believe how lucky I am. And you're telling everybody, wow, I just met this new person and we're going to have a business together. And they're incredible. They work so hard. They have all these amazing contacts. They're doing more than I am. It's just amazing. And so that's how it starts off. They love bomb you like that. So that in the beginning, before it's all, actually cemented, they really, really work hard. They really, really show their stuff. So then what happens is you think, okay, I'm not going to let them have all of my business. I'll let them just have a part of it, or maybe they'll do just this part of it. Next thing you know, there they are taking over the rest of it. Or they're doing nothing and you're doing all of the work and they're taking all of the credit for it. And then on top of that, you start to notice things that are off. Like they're degrading you a little bit. Like, oh, I noticed that you took care of this thing, but I noticed that you had made a mistake or you forgot this part. I fixed it for you. Something like that. That starts to happen. And then you start to notice other little things, like they're taking credit for your work, or they're taking credit for something that you did in the past, or there might even be like taking things that you had done or said and positioning it as if it is theirs. And you think that's a little weird, but okay. I mean, every once in a while you think, all right, well, maybe everybody else thinks this person is so nice, especially if they're a covert narcissist. You think, well, maybe I'm just misreading it, or maybe I'm making too much of it because everything else seems so great. And so you just continue on with the situation because you think it's going to serve you in some way, even though you probably have red flags going on right from the beginning. But you just choose not to notice them because you think, well, maybe it'll work itself out. Maybe it won't be so bad. Let me just tell you something. Remember Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. You will do yourself a huge favor if you start believing them the first time, because things will start to get worse and worse. You'll start to notice other little things, like that they didn't tell you about something, or maybe money is missing. And if you ask them about the money, then they start to say, well, I had to put it in a different account because I couldn't put it in this account because of some reason that they make up, right? I'm going to transfer the money over, and then the money doesn't get ever transferred. And then you have to ask them about it again. And they say, oh, I have to talk to my bookkeeper about how to do that, or some made up excuse. And you just, again, you're starting to feel like it's not good, but to your face, they might be nice. There might be parts of things that are going well. And they do the same kinds of things that you do that happen in a regular relationship with a narcissist, like when you call them out, it might be projection. It was somebody else's fault, not their fault, denying, it's your fault. You did something wrong. We talked about that, gaslighting you. All those same kinds of things that happen in any narcissistic relationship because they're very similar. Another thing that you start noticing with narcissistic business partners is that triangulation. So they have a better relationship with the employees than you do. You start to wonder, are they talking to them about you? You're starting to feel like maybe they don't necessarily have your back. Maybe they're saying things about you that aren't true. Or maybe they're just trying to set it up that they do most of the work, that they are the ones to be credited for, like maybe there was a raise that was given that they didn't want to do, but then you ended up talking the person into giving the employer a raise, and then they take credit for it. Things like that. And you just start to go, well, that doesn't really feel all that good. And it just goes on. And the problem is, what happens is like there are times that things are okay, and how they end up starting to like hoover you again is when they start to feel you pulling back. They start to feel you like going, you know what, I don't think I really want to do this anymore. Then they might like step up to the plate and start doing some of the things like that they should have been doing all along. They start taking care of some things for the business or for work, because they want you to think, oh yeah, they are doing a little something. They hope that you don't notice that they hadn't been doing anything all along, that only now they're stepping up to the plate to try to like snow you into thinking that like, yeah, they actually have some value. So that's kind of what they are doing as a business partner. It's so evil. And if you think it's so evil, give me a so evil in the comments. Because what happens is you just start to really notice and feel like you don't feel good, and you start to like obsess over it. Like, who are they talking to? What are they doing? Are they creating a business on the side? Are they taking in money and they're not putting it in? Who are they? Are they turning people against me? And all of a sudden you're just in this mode all the time. And it's, and they also are like devaluing you. Like, what's the name of that thing that you did? I can't even remember the name of your thing. Things like that. It's like, oh, you don't remember? And it's like, I'm your business partner. You just start to feel like you're ruminating on it constantly. And believe me, I know, I've been there. And so, you wake up in the middle of the night, you're thinking about it, you start to get paranoid. What are they doing now? And what happens is the longer you're in this relationship, the harder it is to get out of, because you start to think, well, how am I going to get out of this thing? Like, it's going to affect all these people, or what are these people going to think, or what's going to happen with the clients, and, all that sort of thing. But let me just tell you something right now. None of that is worth the pain of the headache and the heartache and the nightmare that you're in right now. It's not. It's definitely better to get out of it. Just rip the Band-Aid off, figure out how you're going to make your exit plan, and then just keep going. Put the blinders on, keep looking forward, look towards your goal. It'll be the best thing you ever did. Yes, there are going to be logistics to it, but figure them out. Everything can be figured out, and your life will be so much better on the other side of this thing. The air is sweeter, the sky is bluer, and remember, Bob Proctor actually just told me something, and you need to go check out my video on my interview with Bob Proctor. But one of the things that he said was, if you want to know where you stand vibrationally, look at the 5 people that are closest to you. And, and if one of those people is basically trying to take you down, and you don't trust them, and you feel like there's a knife in your back all the time, then that is not helping you. It's actually bringing you down vibrationally too. So figuring out a way to get out of that will definitely help you. If you are getting ready to negotiate with a narcissist or with anyone, make sure to grab my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet at winmynegotiation.com. Join me in my free private Facebook group. Take the tools, take the resources. I put them out there for you so that you can start to pivot, that you can start to feel better. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it, drop me a comment, let me know what you're thinking, let me know what you're dealing with. And remember, today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. So I'll see you in the next video.